The fog rolled away on the early morning of March 22nd, 1928, revealing a beautiful spring blue sky. Memphis, Tennessee was filled with people going about their daily routines, at least almost everyone was. I lead you into a building, and we are now surrounded by people hustling from place to place, shouting commands and giving orders. Some people stand outside of a room pacing back and forth, some worried and some excited to see the outcome. A cry rings out throughout the building, smiles appear on all of the faces, and a baby boy has been born. Rabbi Eric Donald Hirsch and Leah Hirsch are overjoyed to have a son that can follow in his father's footsteps. The young boy would roam the playgrounds at the Todd School in Woodstock, Illinois, making many friends. Next, he would feel motivated to attend the Cornell University, where he would get a bachelor's degree in English. The year would be 1950. The search for knowledge would not stop there. He continued on to Yale University, achieving his Ph.D. in 1957. School would forever be a part of his life. Either he was trying to improve education or learning. Hirsch believed that in order to be able to understand a passage that you read, you needed to have knowledge about what you are reading. In a study done by Hirsch, results showed African American students at Richmond Community College could read just as well as the University of Virginia students when the topic was roommates or car traffic, but they could not read passages from Lee's surrender to Grant. They had not been taught the various things that they needed to know to understand ordinary texts addressed to a general audience. The results were shocking. What had the schools been doing? Hirsch decided to devote himself to helping right the wrong that is being done to such students. Based on his study, Hirsch was able to discover the need for broad knowledge in order to understand literature. He then spent his life devoted to fixing this problem. For about 30 years, Dr. Hirsch devoted his time to getting schools to teach specific curriculum that could help children to read. He'd give lectures, write articles, and books, including The Schools We Need and Why We Don't Have Them, The New Dictionary of Cultural Literacy, The Making of Americans, Democracy and Our Schools, and others, all to help people to come to the understanding of why knowledge was so important. Hirsch would consider to be a perennialist, where the cultivation of the intellect is the highest priority of an education worth having. Eric Donald Hirsch was able to get 37 states to agree to adopt a single set of K-12 standards in English language arts to define the competencies needed for citizenship, productivity, and fairness. He thought that a curriculum, not standards, should be taught in school. Some were afraid that every school would be teaching the same thing, but he assured them otherwise. He told them that teachers had the choice on how or what they wanted to teach in the subject. You can see this in schools all over the nation. In having a new student attend your school, you often find that they focused on different sections in a subject. For example, a student may have spent more time in percentages than in graphing, while your school did the opposite. Throughout schools today, you can see the effect of Hirsch. Teachers focus on historical events, math, science, art, and other subjects. All of these subjects Hirsch thought would help Americans to become better readers and to understand what writers are trying to say. I believe that Hirsch was a master teacher because he was able to identify a problem with the educational system and find a solution. Hirsch realized that test scores were not at the appropriate level they should be, and then encouraged schools to focus on the curriculum that is so popular today. That raised the test scores to what they should be and helped him accomplish his goals. What made Eric Hirsch such a wonderful teacher was that he cared. He cared for everyone, and he wanted people to be able to understand writers. He was able to find a solution and to spread his message worldwide through books, articles, and lectures. He has influenced so many people for the better, and that is what makes a master teacher, the ability to change people's lives for better.